Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. And I am Jack Talcott, and I am just filled with some inspiration to share. I just have so much love and joy and faith today. Faith in some pretty incredible ideas, I feel. So, brothers and sisters, thank you sincerely. All of you who have stopped by, said hello already. Salute to the chat. Welcome to all of you who are already here, who may stroll in as the time goes on. And Talcott Express, bless you. I have some surprises coming up for you. Well, inspired by you, Talcott for YouTube Sheriff. We're going to have some fun tonight. And I've got a lot I want to cover. I've got a lot of things I do hope to share that I really hope, I hope that you can receive with a little bit of the energy that I want to offer, optimism, right? Appreciation, gratitude. The topic today, discussing miracles and what is pure. And I just realized I totally forgot to get one set up here. So let's do that very easily. The thumbnail, right? Miracles don't happen to you, they happen through you. And something I was considering with this, miracles, the miracles of life, they truly are abundant for those who are open to witness and open to participate. The creation of life that we are a part of, it's a miraculous gift. All of us. We can all learn to appreciate this miraculous gift of life more deeply. The key is authentic participation. See, authenticity is being true. It's being transparent in motive and intentions. Authenticity shows forth what is real. And what is real is true. And what is true, that is divine. See, because what is pure is divine, without flaw, without imperfections. That's purity, that's divinity. And truth, the absolute truth, it is a divine gift that all of us get to carry within ourselves and through this life. But the world we've been born into, I preach about it often. The world we were born into was corrupted. Mankind has been misled. It's quite apparent. When you look at the big pictures of the world, the way that mankind is just, we're treating the earth like a landfill everywhere. There's trash, there's plastic particulate, there's toxins. We're spraying the skies with our air, our water, our lands are being destroyed. If that's not evidence of mankind being misled, misleading themselves, that's, what are we doing as a species? And when I know when I'm saying these things, the reality is each one of us, we're just such a small part. What can I do? Says 7 billion people. I'm just one person, says the masses. Well, brothers and sisters, this is our lifetime to change. And today I was blessed again. Went to church, and I tell you what, before the sermon even started, the Spirit had moved me to tears just several times. I'm learning who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am, and so I've been learning. I bring some tissues into church, so I clean myself up. Don't look all stupid, but I don't really care. When my tears flow down my cheeks, it's just my heart overflowing. That's all it is. And my heart just, it's just receiving the capacity of love that God allows me to feel. So today I was blessed, and I want to share some of this inspiration with you. Words I heard were from a Christian perspective, but man, the real power is in the truth. What moved me this morning first was the song of praise. There's a song, and you can look it up, but I am who you say I am. That's what the sermon has been about recently at this church I attend, is the I am and what that means, what Jesus was saying. Who is he? Who is he saying I am? And who are you to say I am? I am who you say I am. But see, this is something that I've been learning about me. I learned this about me a long time ago. Where did that go? That's not the one. This one. I remembered these words from Jesus. Even if I testify about myself, my testimony is valid because I know where I came from and where I am going. But you do not know where I came from or where I am going. I can say those words confidently about from me. I get a lot of people saying they know me, but no, you do not know me. And these words of the Bible, these words that Jesus spoke, please consider those as though they were meant to be spoken by yourself. Because those words that he spoke are true, and the truth applies to all of us. All of us. All of us here alive today in the human form, we have the potentiality to be just as Christ-like as he. Now, there's limitations on the truth that I'm speaking, right? Because in the end, God controls, but I know God to be the truth. And the truth is, each of us, as Jesus was, I am, you are, we are as he was. And all the other people in the Bible, as they were, we are today. And we all have the gift of freedom of mind, the will to choose to lead ourselves into the darkness or to lead ourselves into the light. It's such a beautiful, miraculous gift of life our Creator has offered to us. So the thought I had earlier, I told this to myself in the mirror, and, seems to be real for me. You are like Christ until you show you are not. You are like Christ until you show you are not. Hey, I will be dropping the link in a little bit, but I do want to get through some thoughts. And and I do hope that people tune in for me to receive what I'm sharing. So I will drop the link, but bear with a few minutes or check back in, whatever. So along the lines of this conversation, I realized you are like Christ until you show you are not. What does it mean to be Christ-like? It means to be true. It means to be calm. It means to be stoic. It means to be loving and fearless and genuine and kind, truthful, honorable. You are that way until you show you are corrupted, until you show that you are not to be trusted, not to be respected. You get to show what you get to choose what you show to the world. I want to encourage you, shine your light authentically and brightly because nobody else gets to be you. Nobody else gets to be you. Others may try to tell you what to do, but in the end, you get to choose. We all do. And so, what I want to encourage everyone to start choosing is the truth above all else, willing to willing to receive bad news, willing to receive critical information, that might not be pleasing to the spirit, willing to be wrong, willing to be humble to the truth, to the facts. That's the key to life. And what I know as Jesus is love. What was taught and shown through the story of Jesus, of Yeshua, the chosen one. What was shown through that teaching and that example is pure love, authentic love, fearless love. Love is the way. It's what Jesus showed and offered, and that is what our God is. Our God is so loving, and we foolishly, well, perfectly misunderstood. Praise God. So, something else I realized is the one in the mirror. It is the one in the mirror that can let you feel like a God, or the one in the mirror can let you feel hopeless, helpless, miserable, suffering, confused, whatever. The one in the mirror can help you feel good. As I was thinking about this, I was wondering, what if your will, right? Your will that you choose, what if that is actually you directing God's will for you? Because God is that which moves us all, allows us to be moved. And in the end, we choose. We choose where we move, how we move, but we don't choose like every single mechanism with thought. We choose the intention, and then the body kind of flows. It does what it does. We've got this technology for experience, and we were shown, right, from our loving God, shown in the human form, communicated through the languages that we could understand. This is love. This is life. Life is love. Jesus is the symbol of love. Worship love. Allow love to lead you to the truth, right? Because in the end, God is the truth. The truth is that which the truth empowers us. When we know the truth, when we have an intimate relationship with that which is true, you feel strong, you feel confidence. But only you can allow yourself to feel the trust, to feel the confidence. The confidence, the trust, the love, the goodness, it's all within us at every moment. The gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is the mind. So we are living at a very amazing time where I believe we are all called for the same purpose. There's an inner calling within us that draws us forward into the path we live. But for those who feel called by God, those who feel called to serve God, here's what I've been learning. And I want you to consider, just try it out for yourself and see what you think. See if it makes sense to you. Because the truth makes sense, right? Damn it. The truth makes sense, yet not all truth actually makes sense. Some of it defies what may seem logical and reasoning, but try this on and see what you think for yourself, right? If you feel called by God, what if the duty for you is simply to stay present, to stay attentive, right? To stay grounded and stoic in the present and paying attention to the now that keeps revealing itself, keeps unfolding itself, because God is eternally present. God is the first person in the present. It is the I am that is. And we are a part of that which is. So if you feel called by God, perhaps the way of Jesus, the duty is to simply stay present, stay attentive, watching for, paying attention for, and being prepared for opportunities to serve. Stay present and attentive, prepared to serve as opportunities emerge. What if that is God's hope for you? That simple hope for you, that you simply pay attention and be authentic and become one with the present, become part of the living truth, become an honest co-creator in the nurturing of life. Because everything we do today, it's either nurturing or destroying the future. What are we growing? Are we growing hate and discontent, or are we growing in relationships and love and wisdom and the goodness that life brings forth? Let's celebrate the goodness. To the title today, discussing miracles and what is pure. What is pure is love. What is pure is true. The truth. Jesus is the example of pure love. Love without conditions. Love without condemnation, right? Just the acceptance and the hope that you, me, that we will sin no more. And I tell you what, once you discover your way of following your spirit, once you find your way of staying faithful to love, and it's just love the truth. Love the truth like there's nothing else more important than the truth. And then you got to figure out what that means. But if you love the truth and you have faith in love, well, I trust that is the way taught by the Essenes and demonstrated by Jesus, Yeshua, and the Buddhas and many other yogis and many others. God is so divine. God is so perfect. God is so good. See, if you can accept the concept that what Jesus was demonstrating is the absolute love, right? Love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, healing, that those things bring forth, that's God's way. And the way of Jesus is love. Love. Love means not placing yourself above others, right? Here we go. Love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. Love always hopes. Love always perseveres. See, aren't those beautiful words? Those words, they show so much. The power of words, right? The power of words. Did I bring that one up? I had that too going. The power of words. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. The words are what reveal in our minds the light and the darkness, the words you use are critically important for your health, happiness, and success. Because if your words are not truthful, if your words are not accurate, they're not truthful. And if your words are not truthful, you're showing your corruption. You're showing your lack of respect for the truth. So, love is a way of life. Love is life. Life is love. It's in our minds, and the corrupted minds of mankind collectively. We've created a world where life means suffering. I mean, that's a partial truth, but the suffering can be escaped. And the spiritual teachings are how to escape. The spiritual teachings, truth, true word, true thoughts, true words, true deeds. Be truthful, be impeccable with your words, and love. Be one with love in the present. The present is at all times. It's always with you. The present is always with you. And that means God's love is always with you. God's truth is always with you. Rely on God's truth, not your own. Trust that the truth will come forth for you, with you, as it's time for you to know. You know, I think I am a blessings. Thank you, Dominic. I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel and drop the link. Yes. Hey, isn't that amazing? Yes. Random fan did hook me up. I encourage. I don't know how to support him, but if you see Random Fan around, give him some encouragement, maybe offer some support if there's a way. I know what I did, so I appreciate all of you. This life we are living, it really is something spectacular. I'm going to share this too because it's part of my story. Praise God. Oh, here, let me take care of this first. I did YouTube. Let me take care of Rumble for those who are tuning in over here. And thank you over there on Rumble. I appreciate you joining up, tuning in, checking out. And if you want to join, the link is there. And hey, Virgil, I just now seen your message there. But here, we'll drop the link over here as well in Facebook. And I think I've got it set. And we've got our guest here. First of all, welcome, Moose. How you doing, brother?
Good, Jack. What's going on? Big Jack in the house.
I'm feeling good. I
Killed that
really.
monologue, Jack.
What's that?
I
Thank you.
said you killed it. You killed that monologue, that intro. First fucking 24 minutes. Killed it.
Which part? I covered a bunch. Not
The
to put
whole
you on the
24
spot.
minutes. It was beautiful. I was over there watching it with Paul, listening, diving deep. Didn't have
Fabulous.
much to say about it, though. Except I was
Interesting.
confused because a lot of the times you come back to Christ. You come back to this Jesus Christ figure, right?
Yep.
But you say you're not a Christian, and so
Right.
it confuses me why you use Christ a lot. Is he the perfect teacher, or is he just the perfect the not the is he just the one that you know? You know what I mean?
Right.
Perfect teacher, the teacher you know.
That's a great question.
But I'm gonna
Thank you.
shut up and listen to you for a little bit, and I'm gonna hang out, and we're gonna see what's going on. If some more guests come up, then we'll see what's cracking.
Well, I use the teachings of Jesus because the words are truth. And I spent a lot of time actually resisting. This is part of my story. So I guess thank you for asking. It is part of my story that I resisted the Bible for most of my life. And yet, as I started growing in my spiritual path, I found more and more confirmation that what he was teaching is the way. Now, the Christian way, through the corruption in the initial part of the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope's influence and all the corruption that developed through the ages, it pushed me away from the Christian religion. When I was a child, by God's grace, I've had the perfect life in many ways. When I was a child, my stepfather had me read books of his choice for the purposes of expanding my mind. And as a young boy, I was reading books on the different faiths and from different perspectives. So I found a lot of inspiration and commonality between those. His point was for me to choose for myself. There's reasons, my mother had actually left Utah because of the imposition of the Mormon church, according to what I understand. So religion had been a part of my past. I was opened up to many different faiths when I was young, and I spent most of my life recognizing there was something greater than what I could know, but not giving it any time or attention because I saw many hypocrites. Through my eyes, I saw many hypocrites going to church, just pretending that they were doing something. So, long answer to shorten to get to the point. My path took me through science. Science convinced me of God. Then the philosophies of the different religions and the different philosophies, those all eventually brought me to understand the love of the Christ. And that's what Jesus was showing. My view, well, there's lots of different perspectives of the different faiths, from the Hindus to the Buddhic to the and then all the breakoffs and variations of all of these different common ideas. The wisdom is consistent, comes down to consciousness, heart, and energies. The reason I keep turning to the words of Jesus is the Bible is very easily accessible for most and many. And I humbled myself to, all right, there's got to be something to this book, to the Bible. And so I looked into historians and all these different people who tried to prove different things wrong and right about the Bible. And I've come to realize there's a reason it is there for us. The wisdom, the story, it's an incredible piece of literature that contains the answers. And it's the evidence. It's the evidence of the loving story that God is creating for humanity. We're not done yet. Evil is not going to win. The story of the Bible, the gospel is supposed to be the sharing of good news, and that's what we are. We're supposed to be. We are sharing in the good news that God's love is here. It's abundant. When we choose to follow the way of Jesus, to be truthful, kind, merciful, forgiving, when we choose to live like God created us to be, which is the way of the Christ, it's supposed to be pretty common. It's not supposed to be a, once in a multi-generational thing. But praise God, this is the way it's turned out to be. We've grown into what we have. This is an interesting question. I do not know. That one I don't know. There's enough testimony and evidence that supports he did. I'm willing to accept that. If I'm willing to accept that, yes, because there's other examples in history as well of people who have passed and then appeared, re-emerged in physical form that could be touched and verified by other people. There's also stories of these spiritual mystics. I think it's bifurcating, where there'd be multiple locations witnessed and experienced in multiple locations at the same time. So yeah, I believe it is possible, certainly. And this is what I think is the under one of the underlying parts of the story, right? Our God is miraculous. Okay, so if you want to believe in miracles, you got to believe in things that defy logic. Our God defies logic. Our God defies our explanation. God is miraculous. Life is miraculous. It's filled of miracles. There's so many men and women alive today, right now, experiencing miracles, miracles of transformation, miracles of recovery. God is answering prayers in many different ways for many different people. Do you have faith? Do you spend time devoting yourself to the creative forces of life? Do you spend time trying to know the absolute truth, the meaning of what is around you, what is happening with you? See, this world we were born into, it's inverted, completely inverted from everything that it could be and should be, perhaps. Our governments are not real. The banking system, it's not real. It's all of this stuff is pretend. Everyone pretends these things are important. The bankers' lies and the government corruptions, they are and are not important. Okay, what is important is the truth. What is important is our relationship with each other. What is true is our relationship with what is pure. Because when we don't toxify ourselves, when we don't corrupt ourselves, we are Christ-like until we prove we are not. So why not try to accept that I can stay pure, I can stay true, I can stay loving and kind and forgiving and generous. I can stay full of joy as I service whatever opportunities come forth, right? Because that's what life is about. As it said, Jesus brought the light of the world, right? His way is the truth, the light, the way for life. What is his way, if not love? Love is the two commandments he narrowed it down to. And if you look at his actions and his deeds, Jesus is love. So let love guide you. Let love, let love lead you. And remember, everything changes in the light. You get in the dark woods, you get in the dark house, whatever, and all your mind's screaming about, oh, what's in the dark? I don't know, it's scary. It's scary because we don't know, because we can't see. But everything changes in the light. And remember, the darkness cannot remain where there is light. The light in reference to this is your light being the energies of love, the energies of fearless will, fearless determination, right? Divine faith, divine love, pure faith, love without conditions, faith without conditions. Those are all available within. Now, you can believe me or not. It's up to you to look, whoever you might be, but I encourage you to look within. There's an abundance of strength, an abundance of answers, an abundance of love. Love is found through appreciation. And remember, in the darkness, what is the darkness? The darkness is simply the absence of light. The darkness in our mind is the absence of answers. The darkness in our mind is the absence of clarity. So in your mind, you can really spend time in the darkness, confusion and chaos and really dark and evil thoughts. It's all available within. You get to choose. So pay attention. That's what I believe God wants us to do, is to pay attention. Moment by moment by moment. Hey, the freak, I love you, my friend. I do. You have the heart of the Lord. You must force out any doubt of his resurrection, and you will receive him in the Holy Spirit. Your heart is right there, and your mind is right there. It's a matter of time before he reveals himself to you. There is no doubt. You know, I don't really have a doubt of his resurrection. I know Jesus as love, and I have been moved by love so many times, so many ways. I have no doubt. I have no doubt in the teachings of Jesus, and I have no doubt in his spirit and consciousness is available. And I have faith that in the future I will experience. I trust that in the future I will experience something undeniable. And I look forward to the day because I trust that Jesus will see and know of me as I know and seek to see him. I have faith in that because that's the choice I've chosen for myself, is to dedicate myself to knowing. I wanted to know. And our God is so good. If you seek to know, the answers will be found. Those who seek to know will find. And I encourage you, seek to know the creator of truth. The creator of truth in your life is in your mind, but get to know the mind that designed your mind. Because the mind that designed your mind is fully aware of everything. That mind that created our mind is fully aware of everything and anything, and it's available for us to receive the answers through. The limits are in our minds. Okay, our minds, our will, when we focus our will on the darkness, the corruption within us grows. We push ourselves away, and we stay in denial. I've lived both ways. Please, you don't want to be in denial. You want to learn how to flow. Flow is without resistance. You're just willing to accept the truth that comes up, and you're willing to let go of the truth that's no longer there. And you just love the present being, the present. You love being in the present because there's so much to love. Each of us has within us the power of God, right? Power of God's attention, maybe. I don't know. Well, I've wondered. I believe our will is God's will, just being shared with us so that we can choose what God's will is for us. That's what the prayer and such might be about. Um, but just remember the simple part, the simple practice to instill and pay attention to in your day is the simple, obvious observation. Your attention empowers the light or darkness. Your attention empowers the light or the darkness that you experience. Because where your attention goes, your energy goes, and where energy and attention are, there is growth and focus. So pay attention to what you grow, whoever you might be. What was this? What do you think about modern men don't know how to receive love? That is, that's something I know.
I think that's true, isn't it,
It's
Jeff?
very true. It's very true, and I'm trying
I
to.
think it's hard for all of us. Not all of us, but maybe. Go
It
ahead. I
is
yield.
until. Thank you. It is hard until it's not. It feels uncomfortable to receive love when we judge ourselves as unworthy. And that's what I think most men have been conditioned to do, is to judge themselves as unworthy. And that way they work harder and they're willing to bust their back to prove themselves to the people who love them. But what we're doing with our judgment of unworthiness and believing we have to earn the worthiness from others is we're actually denying ourselves love. All of our time we spend dedicated to our jobs under the excuse of providing for our family. It's a bunch of bullshit. You think you're not a better you think you think your family is better off spending time with you, your encouragement, your education, sharing the lessons you've learned in your life? Is your family better off without you or with you spending the majority of time? I suggest the family is best together, at least as often as possible. But there's many men who they'll make the excuse. They'll go work 50, 60 hours a week just because they don't know who they're coming home to. They don't actually intimately know or really have a loving relationship. This world we were born into, it's quite confused. And love can be scary. Love is scary to the dishonest. I think the honest are willing to try. Pay meticulous attention to your focus. Your focus is your chosen practice, and you will get good at everything you practice, both healthy and unhealthy. Amen. Pay meticulous attention to your focus. There was something that reminded me of something I wanted to return to earlier. What was that? Focus. Oh, the idea yesterday I had, your lifestyle will not go where the mind does not go. So if your mind is constantly in conflicts and states of emergency in your mind, if you're constantly in a negative pattern, guess what? Your life is not going to feel real positive. Where your attention is, where your attention goes, is critically important. Hey, Sterling, your question is kind of loaded, and I really don't have a lot of patience today, especially for those who can't figure out reality for themselves. Is it noble? I'm assuming you're referring to me. But squatting is a noble choice. Well, not necessarily. I don't deny that. It all depends on perspectives, does it not? Context, relevant factors versus irrelevant factors. Is it squatting? Is it God? See, this world we live in, the world I've been experiencing, people are so frigging quick to judge, so quick to blame, so quick to come up, imagine some narrative of making people look bad. Why? See, that's what blows my mind. It really does blow my mind how closed-minded and negative so many people choose to be, especially in my experience, man. Doesn't make sense. Profound gift from nature is your ability to think. New Guru, I love your wisdom. Thank you. That which you focus your thinking on is your gift to yourself or your curse. It is your curse without intentional responsibility. Sure is. We've been given these powerful tools since the moment we started, and we didn't have a clear understanding of what we were given or what was going on. Welcome, Tarek. How you doing, brother?
Hi, Jeff. How are you? Good. How are you?
I am feeling blessed, truly blessed.
That that's good.
Well, and inspired, truly inspired.
That's the way it should be, Jack. That's excellent. We should be motivated every day. No, we should be motivated every day to get up and do the right thing and, speak the word and be nice to people and try your best to avoid all, negative energy.
Amen. Not just avoid the negative, but I believe we have an opportunity each day to try and grow and share the positive. Because every day we have the opportunity to grow and to help others grow. I see so many people, especially on these panels, spending so much time trying to beat each other down, trying to prove each other wrong. It's like, why?
Jack, it does get tiring sometimes. I'm even a victim of that sometimes.
I know. I know. It's remarkable, but I trust. Um, pe- People can only get a kick out of making fun of someone when they are doing it to take the hurt off themselves. That's what it is. It's egoic selfishness. And the patterns of egoic selfishness that people are so proud of, it's been enabled for far too long in our society.
This is a great stream,
I
Jack. You're doing an amazing job, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Anafe, I'm not sure what you mean. I agree this is deeply meaningful to me in my own experience, but maybe look at making the picture bigger. I'm suggesting that God is with us all, and that if we unite together as the body of Christ, if we actually start living as brothers and sisters, children of God, with love, the way that Jesus taught, I believe we could and are the return of Christ. We are here to lead the darkness into the light, lead the darkness from the world into the light. Okay, and that happens within ourselves as well. If you apply the concept that the darkness within is the ignorance, it's the confusion, it's the deception, if you can lead yourself out of the confusion, the deception, the ignorance, you can lead yourself into the light. And conceptually, we do that with each other. And then as we do that with each other, we become more enlightened together, more empowered together, more unified together with harmony and synergy, the same intentions of love and peace. And we work together as children of God to bring heaven into this world. And heaven is available, the kingdom of heaven is upon us when we humble ourselves to the truth of God and the love that is eternally present through the way shown and taught through Jesus. Welcome, Tommy.
Chag, I like this idea of you and Paul being the two witnesses in the end times. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the Antichrist will murder them in public in front of everyone.
Yep. It's possible. It is possible.
No, for you two to be those, it is not possible. You guys don't know the fucking Bible. But Jack,
sure?
how would you say you lead? There'll be an Israel, Jack. Are you and Paul going to fly over to Israel together?
It's possible.
Oh, I'd quick draw you in the street. Now, how do you, when you picture yourself leading yourself out of confusion, what do you see?
Leading myself out of confusion means surrendering to that which is real.
No, I don't want this this stupid Oprah show stuff. Specifically, you. How do you lead yourself out of the confusion that you say you're an open book and that we all know, and yet yesterday is the first time I've ever heard you say that you were taken by men and force medicated against your will and you didn't like it. That doesn't sound like a guy that's not dangerous.
Why?
I'm not. I mean, guys, can anyone else tell me a time that a not dangerous person is force medicated under assailants
Yeah,
under
dude, it happens all the time. We live
yeah,
in a
when
very
you're
complicated
kicking and
world.
biting and screaming.
No, Tommy, no, that's not accurate. Okay. This
But
is,
how often do you get medicated under capture when your family leaves you?
pardon?
I mean, when we put more details, like this would have been the time your family called the cops and left, and then you were medicated under that duress.
No, that's not accurate.
What other times were you taken by men and given medication?
Tom,
You're an
when,
open book. I've never heard this one.
Tom, well, I'm happy to answer. It's quite an
We
interesting,
always hear that. I'm waiting. Just do it after the question. Instead of saying you're happy for the answer, just
Tom,
say it. Just say it
well,
after the question. Just
you would
reply with the
shut
answer.
up. Tom, you haven't yielded so I could answer, so thank you.
No,
So
don't say, just say the answer.
when you stop trying to control me,
Say the answer.
Tom,
Go.
I don't do well for obedience,
You
especially.
don't do well as an open book.
So what happened is I got to become an example, and I got to become a witness of
Oh my God.
of the problems.
I
Some
have been an
problems,
example. I have been a witness. How
right?
specific?
So I got to become a firsthand evidence and a witness to some of the problems of our systems, the first responders, the mental health systems. When I got held for a period at the hospital because of the opinion of a damn counselor who was afraid to continue in overtime. There's a lot involved in what happened, Tom. So I'm
That's
sick
what
and
I know.
tired. I'm sick and tired of being reduced to these interrogations and constant persecution against me. So Tom, I've got you in the back, and I want to remind you that what the link you pressed is to join as a guest. Okay. So here on this panel, Tom, please remember that you are a guest, and I will treat you as me.
You
Fair?
feel disrespected because you know the answer you're tiptoeing around, and that's why we keep pressing. Because if you don't want to say it, we want to know. Because it's
Tom,
been
I answered.
almost 2 years of
Tom, I
you're
answered.
the Messiah.
Please acknowledge my answer so I can tell that you heard or listened.
No, you said you got to witness the police and the first responder. What did you do to have that happen to you?
Tom, I said there were many variables involved.
And we want to know the variable.
Well, tell you what, when I'm not under interrogation, when you speak to me as a
You're
friend,
an open book.
I am an open book, and I don't deserve your disrespect and hostility, Tommy. That's what you don't get. You're right. You're right. I don't know. What led to all that? Tommy's opinions. He wants to prove to himself that his accusations are accurate. But, hey, Galen, I believe there's many of us who are experiencing we're experiencing firsthand how these systems are failing. We are experiencing firsthand the criminality of the government and the systems that everyone wants to worship and protect and argue for. So I believe there's many people that God is using for us to wake the hell up. And so for those of us who have been wronged by the systems and failed by these systems, I believe it's time for us to wake the hell up. Let's start uniting and doing what we can. I don't know. Welcome, Snafu Snaps.
Mr. Jack Talcott, how you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling blessed, my brother.
Respect and acknowledge Snafu.
Respect and knowledge, Mr. Big Moose, Mr. Tarek.
What's up, Snaps?
Jack,
Yes.
I found some crazy optics out today about the lunar eclipse.
Which part?
So I'm doing a video on it now, but I don't know if you can share screen, but if you go type space command, like the patch, like the actual space, like you know how they have space patches, the army? If you type space command and look at their patch, doesn't that cross over the United States look familiar with the solar eclipse cross?
Yeah, I can, sure. I mean, the thing is, this is the power of our mind. We can find connections and
Well,
symbolism.
no. Let me tell you what you said. That's the legal secrets that you want to end. Though that is them putting the secrets that they're holding in front of us. Okay, so I know where you're going. That's why I wanted to switch this up because it still revolves around what you're saying. So they put those secrets that they have in our faces, even though they're secrets. Like you said, we should end legal secret. Da, da, da. It's just optics to them providing some of those secrets to us. You know, we of course the secrets why, what, when, with that whole optics. But I could get in the groove when you say ending legal secrets in certain manners.
Thank you. Well, I mean, please, I encourage everyone to think that through. Imagine if there was a disclosure, a full disclosure, where the citizens, there was a full disclosure of the corruption that has been happening. We recognize the fact that the military-industrial complex has been working with Congress to rape and steal.
How would you deal with riots and uprising and new factions trying to take place? Because say you did a great disclosure like that, you would have to deal with the riots, the uprisings, the people who like are going to be like, oh fuck that,
Yeah, there is probably many who will react once they find out the news that they've been supporting child traffickers and paying for the murder of innocent people. There will be a lot of people that are
fluoride in our water, which we know, but the math
right.
doesn't
But
have a known about it.
here's the deal. I think people will be a lot less likely to riot when the word comes out that we are changing. We're going to bring to light the true corruption, the true lies, the misinformation, and we're going to set things straight. The best way to do that is to confront the lies of the government and the banking institutions. These are the prophesized beasts of rule. That it's clear. The nation states and the economic nonsense, the political BS, it's all man-made to support selfish people.
Whoa! Where's my fucking Talcott button? Let me see that thing. Is that big button?
Yeah. I got it. I got a bunch of them in the mail. Thanks to our friend Random Fan.
Nice.
Too.
I'm surprised Mr. Moose hasn't done anything with that yet for you.
I do have hopes. I have faith in the future, right? God has tested me, but God has been allowing me to prepare myself and refine myself, and I'm gaining in confidence, right? My love of God is strong. My love of life is incredible. I never thought I could feel this way, but truly throughout my day, I am following the way of Jesus. My words are constant praise of God. Now, do people listen to me? I don't know. I get a little bit of evidence from people who are away, but
Hell nah. People don't listen.
you're an example of that.
Holy, Moose might be right though.
That's the choice. Everyone has free will. But when people do start listening to me and start connecting the dots that, oh yeah, I guess what Jack is saying, it's just to follow Jesus. And I guess maybe if I tried to follow Jesus, maybe it's not as hard as confusing as I used to think. Maybe Jack's onto something. I don't know.
You'll be just fine, Jack.
Very hard, Jack. That's why people aren't good at it. But when kids are trafficked into America, it's usually under some government under the table thing. There's empty Walmarts in lots of cities that these kids are allegedly being held in. Do you see how I'm not just saying a generalized version of it and there's details to it? Like if I were sit here for 2 years on a panel saying I want to end child trafficking and see my kids again in child trafficking, I would say they're probably in a Walmart somewhere that was shipped in by the government. And I don't know why the chat takes my ability to talk away and then asks me why I would ask these things. And I don't know why they don't ask.
How does a chat take your ability to talk away? They're chatting.
The
We're not even
wrenches. The
interrupting you.
wrenches, dickhead.
Tom,
Oh.
I timed you out for 1 minute because you were being obnoxious.
You're obnoxious.
Am I? Maybe I am. Maybe I am.
No, you made a point. I didn't know what I thought he meant when he was talking here. If he was getting Nazi blocked, I get what he's saying. I misunderstood what he's saying.
He got timed out in chat.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering why he wants to know the details, Jack. Like, sometimes people want to know the details for a certain reason. I don't know why Tommy wants to know the details. I'm just wondering.
That's a good question. If you actually have, if you have genuine intentions, I'm happy to answer all of the questions. But if you're just entertaining yourself and trying to trip me up,
my genuine intentions are I've already used avenues I have like Snafu to find his address and gave it to you before you ever gave me this information. And
Tom,
I should have made you give me that
anything,
information.
dude. You didn't give me anything helpful.
I did.
Not helpful.
Yeah, I think you know.
You lied to yourself about how helpful it was, and it was not helpful, Tom.
Snafu, do you think that your daddy owes Jack
Choose love, brother. Choose love.
Moose, do you think your daddy owes Jack half of Talcott? Ooh, mic drop. Tarek, do you think your ex-dad? Well, do you think your daddy owes?
My daddy's in the sky.
I don't have a daddy.
My daddy doesn't owe anybody.
All right,
nothing.
Tarek, I know you don't have a daddy because you do super chat me. Do you think your past daddy owes Jack half of Talstock?
I don't think so.
Why? It pulled almost $3,000.
I know, but I don't think anything was said.
He acquired it back then.
What?
When it was all the talk.
What?
I think if Jack wanted it, whether he deserved it or not, let's just not say that.
Do you think he wants it right now?
When they were talking about it or not, that's
okay.
when it should have been brought up.
No, it got fought off by your daddy. But whenever Jack agreed that your daddy should just throw it at that baby shower, don't you agree?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Well, I did invite people to please donate to the kids, but that's another thing.
Love the kids.
Well, it's another example that Mr. Flow State wants to run around. And,
no, I've already squashed that. I've already squashed that because I'm the one that chatted in all caps.
You claim you've squashed it, yet
you thanked me for it.
In my life, nothing has changed. So
I squashed Flow State's claim that you doxed your kid.
Right. Well, what about
and since it's...
I'm trying to talk. If you can't recognize that and yield for just a minute that this is my panel, my life, my story, Tom, I don't need you interrupting me to narrate your story.
Hey,
so
Jack,
what I was trying to say about flow state is he chose to purposefully ignore my explanations and then create his own narrative. And then he wants to persecute me and allege that I'm a vindictive man against my son. Not with any evidence, but because he thought a thought. Go ahead, Snafu.
I was going to say, but he played you on that. He thought that from the beginning because he remember how much he pushed it up and was like actually acting like he was there to help you and your son and just
He's a
everything.
liar.
And
Right.
yeah,
He showed
and
himself
look how
to be
fast
a
it
liar.
switched and changed because you don't just switch and change from something
Snafu.
like that.
Snap, right. I know. I have seen his opposition of me. But this is what I don't understand is there's many people who not really called him out besides maybe Tommy and me, but
Come on, the biggest motherfucker calls him out.
Oh, I called him out, Jack. I called him out too.
Okay, you're right. You're right. There have been some. But see, we're all, you know what? I'm confident God is using me as an example for others. And that means anyone with me is also an example for others. So how are we showing ourselves to be?
Well, hey, did you hear today? Like, we got some truth out of Margot today. I was going to ask you what you thought about that. She actually admitted she had a crush on you. Okay, that was 100%. She said it. We heard it. Which I
She
asked
did.
you about that in the past. And then she said she's going to not say your name anymore ever again or like talk about you. Now, if she talks about you in a positive, I don't see problems with that. But when she said, I won't talk about him anymore, she knew it was because of the negative talk. Do you have any comment on that? Because I kind of figured she had a crush on you. And she admitted it, Jack. She admitted she did.
You know, nothing was said overtly, but when she first approached me at that early morning meeting, and then a few other interactions made me wonder, was she looking for a 13th step? But I had no interest from day one. So it doesn't
Well,
surprise
at least now you have a little light to the truth. You know, because
it doesn't,
she
well,
slipped up. She
hey,
admitted she
actually,
had a crush on you, which is
well,
big.
hey, no, actually, what is better, I believe, is she agreed that, well, actually, she's she's going to go back on her words again because I'd rather she not just stop talking about me, but I'd rather she made efforts to correct some of the false truths she's spread. I'd rather
That's
she try to
understandable.
correct the narrative. What's that?
That's understandable. I just wanted to ask you your quick thoughts on that real quick, but I yield.
Hey,
But I thought it was
I,
I
I
was
want to
surprised
thank
she was
you.
honest.
Actually, and I want to thank you, Snafu, for putting her on the spot and calling her out. Not just you. I think Tarek has too, and people have
Yeah,
asked
I
her.
called her out today. You're welcome.
It's just because there's a certain point. Like we give you shit, Jack, but we always are blunt and we talk privately. And it's just when you see some of these people's tactics, you get upset because Margot is definitely playing games. But I have a better understanding now because she admitted the crush. I asked you before, and that makes sense. Women do that type of weird shit, Jack. You know women. They're fucking weird,
Well,
especially if they like you.
well, there's more to just that generic part too. There is something happening in my life, and until there's more than just me, right, who's actually seen the evidence and tried to look at what I'm dealing with, we won't know for sure. But I trust that God has been with me, even over the past several years when my family and the career ended. I have faith God was with us all this whole time. And I know the man I'm becoming. I mean, let's face it. Here I am pretty much every day, and I admitted it clearly today. I am here not as a minister, but kind of preaching. I'm here sharing my true testimony, professing my true faith of our God, our Creator, right? The truth and the love that is. My son doesn't know me since I found God. And the fact that people haven't even been willing to ask my son, hey, what did Jack do? Because I'm still wondering, what does he think I did? I harmed no one in my life. So I don't know what his mom thinks I did. She won't fucking talk to me either. And so I'd love to know.
Jack, here's one thing I know. Some just from people I know that have problems sometimes with divorces and stuff like that, and they have the kid, and the woman usually keeps the kid. If they brainwash the kid from the beginning, like say when they were younger about the dad, and they hate the dad, they're gonna spread lies about you to your son, her son, all the way through. So he's gonna get the perspective that maybe a lot of things were said that were not true. So he's
Correct.
probably has those in him. So that's also something to think about based on what she said to him and a lot of other people.
It's exactly what has happened. My
It's more
ex-wife,
common than you think.
I realize that. And I'm trying to deal with this actively on my own. For whatever
Does your
reason.
mother talk to your the grandkids?
What's that?
I know you. I know you talk to your mom. Does she talk to the kids at all? Like, does she talk to them?
Just like my numbers have been blocked, my mother said her numbers have been blocked as well.
Oh, see, then it's deeper than that.
That's
Okay.
why I
Yeah.
have been asking strangers to try and help me. But
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. See, that makes the story a little different too, because it's not just you; it's your
right,
family. It's you.
right,
Okay.
right. And my mother certainly did nothing to my ex-wife, nothing to my son.
Right, right. That just sounds more like Tarek just said. Sometimes
It's
in divorce, they want to
right,
separate from anything and
right.
everything to do
Well,
with that person,
snafu.
including family
Yes,
members, so forth.
snafu. This is my life. I am an example of this situation.
Praise God.
Why do you insist on interrupting? Where did that come from,
Jack,
Moose? How was that
it's
helpful?
it, it's I know it's Moose. He likes to interrupt when the message is almost
Oh,
there to get you off your
no, the
center.
message is good. We're
He's an
having a good
agent of
time though.
chaos. Snafu.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm an agent of chaos.
Well,
No, no, I'm talking
Moose
about
is,
Moose.
and
Well, I am. I
you
can
have
be.
been. I know, and
Hey, by the way, thanks for showing up the other night. Had fun, Jack. Tarek had fun. You guys were
Yep,
cool. Crew enjoyed both of you guys very much so. You guys were awesome.
we enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it.
It was a good
Jack, I don't
time.
interrupt you. I know you were
Brought
saying
us good
something, and Moose.
time. That was
Yeah,
cool. You
Moose kind of
busted out your
interrupted you.
signs.
yeah,
My
Moose
apologies.
interrupted
I
because he
shouldn't have
doesn't.
like yelled out like that. That was rude, and
Right.
I won't do it again. And
Well,
Tarek, you
you
are a
keep
little
saying
bitch.
that. Moose, you keep offering these empty words, empty apologies, and you keep showing yourself to be a liar. Why should you be taken seriously if you don't follow through with your words? Because, see, this comment is right. Moose interrupted me because he doesn't respect me.
I gotta admit, it was during a real important part, Moose. Like, if you would have done it, it would have been better during a different section. Like, not when it was like a real serious question, like I asked about his mom, and he was giving us the
Nah,
answer.
totally. I accept 100%
No,
responsibility
I
for
get it.
that.
I get it. I get it.
But you guys are bagging on
No,
me here. You're bagging on me here like I deliberately meant to like steamroll you
No, no, I'm gonna
disrespectfully.
stick up for you here, Moose. Moose is just being a dumbass Moose, but he just did it at the wrong timing. So we got to remember that. He just it's a
yeah, but
habit. It's a
but
habit.
Oh
Snafu.
yeah, let me speak up for you a second. He's being a dumbass.
Can you
Okay, so
shut up so we can
Moose,
get
why don't you
back
tell
to
Jack?
something? What's that, Tarek? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say if Moose came up here and said you had a lovely 20 minute, when he first came in, came in with his voice and all the fake shit. Why don't you tell Jack
Right.
what you said at the end of Paul's broadcast about Mr. Jack Talcott and your vision of him and the police and O'Shea coming to the house and tell him what you said. Go ahead, tell him. I mean, the fake stuff. That's what
He doesn't
sometimes
want to hear
bothers
my
me, Jack.
ideas. He doesn't want to hear ideas about how O'Shea should move in with them, okay? Stop wasting his time.
Right, right. So,
No,
Moose, why do you talk so much shit?
So wait, I'm not allowed to talk somewhere else?
Actually, you know what, Moose?
Oh,
Your
okay,
lack
bye.
of your
Have a
lack
good
of a
day.
please, thank you, please, and realize you're not bringing joy into my life, even though you think maybe you're telling yourself that you're really not. So, thank you, Moose. Enjoy the rest of your day. Holy cows. Hey, Lizard Tree, oh, blessings to you, sincerely. The generosity has been abundant, and I don't know you, so I trust you're not overextending, but thank you, sincerely. Um, this, I know this. I know even the people who really insult me and interrupt me, and the people who come around who really just care about themselves, I know they love me too. We live in a confused world, and we do not have to keep enabling the confusion. Moose, you're no longer welcome here, dude. You're fucking disgusting. Showing inappropriate garbage to me in the back of the panel. What a child.
Was
Wow.
he?
Yeah.
What did he show you?
Sickness.
Oh no. Oh well, move forward.
Yeah. Well, no, he shows his evil nature, right? He doesn't care about what he's doing as long as he thinks he's getting a laugh. I mean, yeah, if that had been on the stream would have been struck. So,
Oh, that's not cool.
yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
Well, you know what though? That just shows you exactly the optic. See, here's what I gotta say. I must say, I give people shit about cupcaking all the time. And remember when you first started this out, Jack? I gotta say that fucking edge on you. Sometimes it's over Nazi or over crazy. I say at times, but it's good. Like I see you starting to defend yourself, your integrity, your fucking message. And like so, like with the Moose shit, you called it out before you even put him backstage. You put him backstage, and he just double showed you why you put him backstage. So just remember, sometimes you could overdo it, but I think because of how bad you were at the, it's good to kind of watch out for yourself or be stern about certain things, Jack. So just know that it's actually helping your message and you in the end.
I know it is.
Mr. Pie, by the way, I like pie.
Mr. Pie, sincerely, to not enabling confusion. Much love, sincerely. And Tarek, God bless. You guys, I appreciate this. Some people really care about helping others, and I know that. And I really do too. And I know there's many like me. That's why we're gathering here, because we are all alike. We haven't quite seen all the similarities. Some of us are still focusing on differences, and some of us are still trying to create differences, make sure that, oh, I'm not like him. Well, brothers and sisters, we are. We're all like each other, whether we like it or not. Hey, Daddy's Black Princess, your narratives are inaccurate.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Moose is redeemable still?
Of course, I believe everyone is redeemable.
So let me ask you this. Wouldn't it be beneficial to try and work with him than without him, or without him versus with him? I'm asking you this. I know where I stand.
Well, I've humbled
I think
myself.
if Moose could quit doing certain optics that get me going, but I know it's different optics with you. He does it with the new different. He's an okay guy.
Why do you ask me questions and then interrupt me? It's
Go
like
ahead.
you don't care about the answer. So,
redeemable. You're telling us about Moose.
well, the reality I've realized, I'm just like everyone else, and we are just like Jesus to some degree, but different. Regarding how I'm like everyone else, we are at the mercy of those around us. So I am willing to work with Moose. I'm willing to work with Paul. I'm willing to work with Flow State, with Ian, with you, Snafu, with many others. I'm willing to work. However, I am not willing to sit here and be lectured and interrogated and insulted and interrupted. I'm not willing to do that. And I believe that's reasonable, to be honest.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
And so regarding Moose, hey, Cola, welcome. Regarding Moose, when he's willing to cooperate, treat me like someone he might care about and trust, actually try and understand what I'm saying, Moose and I could have some great conversations.
I've heard you and Moose have good conversations, and I've seen him try and help you, but I've seen him crumble you and shit on you just like I've seen him do both, but I feel he's less worse than many others when it comes down to having your back, so to speak. Like I don't see Moose as manipulative, even though he does it in more of a fucking trolly way, versus others that I've seen that just straight up use the clout way, being manipulative with you, Jack. If that makes sense. I don't like. I've seen people do worse, in my opinion, or use you worse than I would ever see Moose doing. Just so you know, my thoughts.
But Snafu, I kind of like disagree with you a little bit on Moose, and let me explain why.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Moose, you know Moose, and Jack knows Moose, okay? And I'm assuming everybody on here is very polite. Moose is not stupid. He's very good at his tactics. He knows when to interrupt the subject when somebody's trying to hit home with the point. So if Jack, for example, was trying to really explain to people that maybe the situation with this kid was for some, maybe like his ex-wife or somebody's said something about him, he interrupted that so this way he doesn't say the whole story, she doesn't hear it, and then they don't hear his side of the story. I think is fully aware of what's going on, and I don't like that. That's something very bad to
That's a good point,
snake,
Tarek.
like somebody that doesn't wish good on somebody.
That's a tactic used quite a bit here. Whenever any of us get on certain subjects that are worth talking, it always seems there's something to jive it. Talcott, we'll be looking forward to do more work with you on the crew. I'm serious when I said we're going to call the UN together, bro, buddy.
Well, no offense, Snafu, but
If not, I'm calling them. With or
you
without
and many others keep saying there's things available, things we're going to do. Yet, like I say,
we're going to do it live. We're
Well,
going to do it live, so we'll actually do it together.
Sure, tell me when, and when it's ready, we'll do it.
We can try to do it this week. I got to either you or I. We got to get
Snafu, I don't care until it's time. I am I have wasted so much of my life, it feels, has been wasted by empty words. People saying that there's things available to help me or to offer for me. But you know what? I spend my days alone with God, seeking inspirations on my own. I have conversations with myself and, I build up what I can. But hey, yeah, when someone wants to collaborate with me, golly geez, cooperation would be incredible. I'd love it. I can imagine.
Hey, what happened to that chick you had on here?
Which one?
The black one.
It's talking about Lisa. You talking about Lisa?
Yeah.
What about her?
I'm just curious if she showed back up or not, or if you guys are doing stuff together.
Yeah, people are welcome. Cola has, I think I saw Cola in the chat. She's welcome back. People are welcome to join. Hey, Machine Lies, how you doing, brother? How are you? Hey, actually, there's been.
Yeah, I bet Abby hasn't come home yet.
Is that funny?
Oh, it's very funny.
Why is that funny, Snafu? That's quite disrespectful.
Hilarious.
Is it? That's rude, and I'm not going to accept it. You can
this guy's a scumbag, but go ahead.
Goodbye. I'm not going to sit here and allow that disrespect. evil people find joy over the misfortune of others. How fucking sick. So fascinating. Fascinating.
Okay, Jack, we can recenter. I mean, sometimes this is like what happens a lot on your broadcast or others, where people interfere, and we get off our center. And that's I think what they're trying to do sometimes. And I think take a long breath and relax, and just try to recenter. We're all human.
Hey, thank you. I am good. I am good. I'm a little dumbfounded that yeah, well, this insults and stuff of family. It's just inappropriate. It's not helpful. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, sorry. For some reason I was getting an echo from another window there, so I had to. Yeah.
Thank you for taking care of it, brother.
Yes, no worries. Yeah. And I heard what the brother had to say, but me and Abby are patching things up. As they say, grace be to God, and and I'm happy to announce, as I have earlier as well, that we're figuring out our way together. So it'll take some time, but Abby's coming home. It is what it is. So I know that might dissuade people like Snafu. But it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, bless. It's none of his personal business actually. But yeah.
You're right, it's not. And it's not mine either. But thank you for sharing that. I'm excited for you. I'm very happy. And
I'm
I
also
do.
happy for you.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I would like to say that during the time when, the relations between me and my wife were getting very sour, Brother Talcott stepped up, and he tried to help our relationship move forward, so because that was one of the daily rituals we had together was watching Jack Talcott at 7 p.m. So, we came together in this chat room. So, a lot of us come together, so people who think that, Jack Talcott doesn't care about other people, doesn't actually step up, doesn't give advice, personal advice that helps people aid in relationships and all that kind of stuff. You can, suck my dick. Honestly, I really don't care what you think. You know what I mean? Because I've personally experienced otherwise. So, you could say whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Thank you, brother. This life is an interesting adventure. And I am glad to hear your progress, sincerely. Because, life is short. It really is short. We don't know when the last day is going to be. And I'm of the feeling we don't need to make things so difficult for each other. Not unless we have to. But then who determines what we have to do, right? Each of us get to decide what we have to do, what we want to do, and what we get to do. But is it us or is it God? What are you guys' thoughts? Who decides what we get to do and have to do? Is it us or is it God? What do you think?
Well, I think you have free will, Jack. We all have free will, right? So I'm assuming, based on free will, free choice, um, you determine that, right? We all do, like each other. I don't know how TML feels about that, but I feel like we each have um our faith in God, and we make our choices.
I've been given a lot of thought, my own observations on what is God? What is God to me? And I encourage others to do the same, right? The world has provided a lot of descriptions and offers a lot of interpretations of what God might and might not be. But I encourage everyone to try and figure it out for yourself. What does God mean to me? Not just the word either. Think beyond the word into the thing, the what's being pointed to. So if you can find within yourself, what does God mean to you? What does God mean to me? and then figure out what is God. I've spent a lot of time observing this in my mind, listening and understanding different concepts and philosophical offerings, but from my personal experience, I offer you to consider. Allow the truth to be your God. Seek to know the truth. Speak to the truth to better understand the truth. Speak through the facts that you know. When you're facing a problem, when you're facing a situation, an experience in your life, speak through the facts. Speak to the truth as though you want to know. What we've been patterned to do through the anxiousness and the temporary nature of our selfish ego. What our selfish ego wants to do, it's in a rush and it's always focused on survival. It wants to jump to conclusions and conserve energy. The mind doesn't actually want to be pressed. It doesn't want to think things through. But guess what, guys? That's part of our maturity. As a human being, to develop into more maturity, into greater awareness and consciousness, we've got to develop the practice and the patience to really think thoughts through. Think thoughts through until you have multiple perspectives of what you're viewing, until you have a more discernible appreciation for what you're contemplating. Think your thoughts through. And if you allow love to guide the thoughts, love being goodness, love being merciful, compassion, patience, all the good things, if you allow love to guide your thoughts, as you think your thoughts through, you will come to loving conclusions. Not jumping to conclusions, but you will come to the loving answers that are right for you. That's from my experience. So if it makes sense, well, maybe you know.
Well, since it's Ramadan here, and I have my brother Tarek here. If you'll engage me for just a moment, brother Jack, because
Please do.
because I
Please.
remember that a great answer to this one question about what God wants us to do actually comes from one of the great teachers of Shia Islam, called Jafar al-Sadiq, who some people actually say created science, because he was able to outline the scientific method years before they did so in the West, but he had this one quote when somebody asked him about free will. He made a statement. He said, God does not, quote, order created beings to do something without providing for them a means of not doing it, though they do not do it or not do it without God's permission. And he also declared, whoever claims that God has ordered evil has lied about God. Whoever claims that both good and evil are attributed to him has lied about God. So
I totally agree.
Oh,
it's interesting. It's
I agree
interesting
with
that it says so. So thinking that evil doesn't come from God, but that nothing happens without God's permission, but also that God doesn't give us the power to accomplish something without not being able to do it as well. So all of these together, then we can have a sensible truth emerge from that combination of facts.
dude, those are profound thoughts that there's a lot in there.
I know. I'm still working through it as well.
Holy shit. So
No, thank you, TMO. Thank you, because see, I know how to I was trying to say earlier what Jack asked me to exactly what you were saying, but I don't know the English like you do. Your English is way better. I know how to do it in Arabic because my Arabic is really good, but in English, of course, you know how to get the point across way better. So thank you.
No worries.
Blessings to you both. The machine lies English is better than mine, and Tarek, your Arabic is far greater than mine for sure. I know none. So blessings to you guys. That that thought though machine lies that yes, I believe with every idea, every belief that we can if we can believe in it, in other words, we can reason it and we can see it, we can visualize it, we can get the details of it. I believe there is a path and a way. Every idea is, by the time an idea comes into our awareness, the path and the solution is already available. It's a matter of us discovering it. But I love what you said too, that not only the path to do so, but the path to not do so is available. And that's where the expanded mind is important. Because while we focus on getting clarity on one thing, we can also consider the absence of what is my alternative? What are the other ways? What are the options of action versus inaction, or all that.
Yeah,
These
and that's a problem in terms of determinism. That it leads to this nihilistic kind of way, and kind of materialists have this problem, that like for example, David Hume, he experienced a great melancholy seeing that, his radical form of empiricism of atoms smashing into each other so that there's no actual, reason why anything has to happen. It led him to depression. He said, I just play backgammon and drink wine and I don't know what to do with myself.
boredom. Boredom is the foolishness. It's from our arrogance of the ego. Yes, when we don't have purpose, this is what I'm learning too. Without love, it's hard to find meaning. It's hard to find meaning in our lives, and it's hard to find purpose. If you feel absent from love, you're not going to feel drawn to do much. But if you can find the power of love within yourself and find a purpose beyond yourself, greater than yourself, that's where life happens. And so we've been born into a world where the visible darkness has been leading humanity forward through time. And I believe that we are, you, me, anyone tuning in today, and everyone that we know of, we are the solution right here and now. We are here, all of us individually, we are all here to lead the darkness into the light. Same mission that Jesus had is the same reason we are here, to lead the darkness into the light. And the darkness starts within ourselves. You got to start with that shadow work within yourself. You got to look at yourself, go into your darkness, your evil, your negativity and confusion. And I'm willing to help anyone who wants to face that stuff and doesn't know where to begin. Just need honest willingness and a little bit of time. But honestly, the path is the way. The way taught through Jesus is love. So the way out of your confusion is through love, humbling yourself to the truth, loving the truth more than life itself, because the truth is God. God is that which is real. So love that which is real every day. Pretty sure that's the simple way of the Christ. It may be simple, but it's not easy. But then again, everything becomes easy with practice. Our God is so good. Our God is so good in so many different ways. Your thoughts, guys, please. No.
You're right, Jack. I think sometimes people complicate the subject, or like when you talk about God, love, faith, belief, what to do on a daily basis to accomplish these things, and where your faith comes from, and how do you make those choices. Um, You know, if you're a good person and you have a pure soul, it wouldn't be hard for you to make those choices. And that's what I believe. I don't think, I think sometimes people kind of complicate it a little bit. If you're a good person, you're a good person. You're not gonna treat people the wrong way. If you see somebody getting hurt, you're gonna stand up. If you see somebody getting mocked, you're gonna say something about it. Or if you make a mistake, you're gonna apologize. Stuff like that. I mean, you can tell the person by how they are and how they act, and you know the things they do every day. But that's my thought about it.
Yes, I paid attention. I really did, Tarek. I already lost what you said, though. My mind drifted into, I was looking for something and I can't remember what it was. Hey, well, I think you confirmed what I'm offering. It can be simpler than we want to believe. The truth is often obvious. It's usually readily available. Yet the resistance and the pain that we feel from it when we feel wronged by the truth that is shown, well, we've got to correct ourselves. Why do we feel wronged? And what is true about what we feel? I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing that. I don't mean to overcomplicate it. The idea, though, is focus on love, focus on the truth, focus on light. And as you train your mind to focus on what you want, which is the truth and love and light, when you focus on those things, those will grow in your experience. It's just how the design of us works. And then I believe eventually, when we focus on the truth and the love that life brings forth through us, with us, around us, the kingdom of heaven starts to reveal itself to you. Things appear brighter, more vibrant, more colorful. It's just more beauty, more light. It really is. When you fill yourself with love, life feels different. We all know this. It's just a matter of recognizing it and figuring out that, oh yeah, I guess I can affect how I feel.
And Jack, can I say something too? I think also the language, like most languages, were made to complicate and um, to confuse people, especially the English language. And I'll give you one example, like in Arabic, or even I think in the Jewish language. If you can't like in Arabic, God means you can't say gods. There's no ilahi. There's only one God. Like in the letter itself, the word itself, you can't even say many gods. It's not made. That word is only made for Allah, and that's it, which is one God. You can't even say many gods. And so there's different languages that allow you to spin it as many ways you want it, and that allows to have loopholes for different things to happen. I think so. I think the language too is important.
Language is critically important. And our mainstream world, the majority of mankind, I don't believe, is aware of how powerful words truly are. And yet, it's so simple and obvious. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word is God. The words we choose, the words we allow within ourselves and to escape us, those words are going to reveal our character. They're going to show what's within us. So the words we use are either going to show the truth, share the truth, or they'll share confusion. Our words will either show love and care and appreciation and praise, or our words will show untruth will show condemnation and curses upon each other. The words we choose are so important.
And that's a beautiful point. And I think first brought up by the brother Tariq, you know, about the words and the language and about how the words in Arabic, they sometimes possess deeper sense of meaning than the kind of cookie cutter kind of, you know, definitional terms, you know, that we have in the English language. You know, in the English language, because of Platonism, you know, we're obsessed with definitions of things. You know, we think that something has to have a precise definition, and that actually comes from the Platonic dialogues, because he believed that forms exist in a transcendental realm apart from reality itself. And this is how they came up with the idea of nature's laws. And it's actually funny that when Hume wanted to dismiss miracles, I keep talking about Hume for some reason, but I'm just like, it's the philosopher, you know. But yeah, the idea that laws of nature, he came up with this term that miracles constitute a violation of the laws of nature, so they cannot exist. But what are the laws of nature? Nature is just a category we made up to separate man from God. You know, there's no separation between God and nature or God and man. You know, so you know, the fact that God acts through nature and then it eventually gets to man, that's a false construction. You know, God acts directly on man and on nature. You know, that's what I believe. You know, I believe that nature is just the same thing as, you know, what we would say as, you know, what we phrase as the absence of God, but that's not possible, is it? Right? You know, and also causality. You know, we think of causality, you know, and this is how he proved, so-called proved. You know, he said, well, cause and effect. You know, one thing happens and it causes another thing. You know, so atoms are bouncing
Yeah.
into each other like billiard balls, and everything's just causing each other, and nothing actually matters. But the fact is that there's many different types of causality. You know, if you go read Aristotle, you know, there's what makes it, there's how it is made. There's you know, different things that cause things. There's the efficient cause. There's the you know, the elemental cause of you know, what the thing is made out of. And there's the actual construction of the thing. You know, these are all separate instances that cause what happens. You know, so cause and effect is actually false, in my opinion. You know, I think that God causes things directly to happen, you know, through his word, as it says, the first miracle, you know, that God calls things into existence, you know, and I do believe that.
As do we as well. I believe we call things into existence as well through the, whoops, dang it, through the power of our minds. I got it. I closed one of my tabs, confused myself. The oh, and the idea of language. The English language, it's clumsy and it's imperfect, and yet at the same time, I mean, it's clumsy compared to what you were offering with Arabic, and I even heard with Hebrew and some of the other indigenous languages. The languages have such a finesse and such a distinction, showing the different ways of cultures and the way they view things and what is. The language shows a lot. The English language, while it's clumsy and there's a perfection to the language as well. There's a perfection to all things. And what you were saying, Machine Lies, about nature, God, man, is there a separation? I think the only separation between nature, God, and man is God and nature don't choose to lie. They're pretty open and honest. Man is the one who wants to be selfish and fearful, corrupted. But I agree. Man is nature. Nature, I think, is evidence of God. And that's the one God. The one God we all live through and with. And perhaps the one God we all live for. We don't know why we're here. Maybe we are here for the greater world. Maybe we are here for something greater than ourselves. And where you were saying too, there is no place where God is not, especially if God is the truth. If God is the truth is everywhere. There is no place the truth is absent.
Right.
Except,
There is no there is no place where God is not, and there was no time when man was not, you know.
I trust in that as well. I do. I trust in that. And that is supported. See, I'm not as familiar with the Quran or the Muslim perspective, Islam, whichever is appropriate. Please.
But Jack, I got a question for Machine Lies too, because he knows more about stuff than I do. And I agree with him on nature, because nature, like he said, he explained it very well. But how about if like a man corrupted nature? Because like say he took a plant and modified it, and now nature itself is corrupted and not let to be what it's supposed to be from the beginning, which is nature. How does
Yes,
that play in terms of yeah?
that's the main subject of my show.
Oh, isn't it?
But
I
yeah,
didn't know. Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up. You know, as I like to say, or as I've often stated, I think you know, in my humble opinion, you know, nature is you know, God made technology, and the technology we make is man-made nature. You know, so you know, we are simply recreating what's already there to be obvious about it, you know. But you know, I'm not a technologist. You know, I'm simply somebody who studies philosophy and theology. So I state things in these non-technical terms. Right.
Love it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm feeling kind of complete. Feel like wrapping it up. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. And I don't mean to squash the conversations, because we've been having some amazing, beautiful discussions today. Thoughts? Thoughts on wrapping it up versus continuing? Thoughts on anything in general, please.
It's up to you, Jack.
Yes, it's up to you, brother. Yeah.
I do feel like shutting it down, to be honest. Sunday evening. It's been a beautiful day, and I'm going to go and continue on after this. But please feel free, whatever you wish to offer.
Peace, Jack. TML, thank you for your extensive and profound explanation, because I can't, you know, explain it like you do. And I'll pay attention to your when are you going to speak on nature today? TML?
Nature and technology. You know, send me an email. I'll send you some comparable materials on this
right.
subject. You know, I have tons of
Yeah,
stuff. Ghazali,
thank you.
Jafar al-Sadiq, I'll send you tons of stuff.
I
I'm always
appreciate it.
available
Thank you
for
so
you, brother.
much.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it, TML. Thank you, Jack, and everybody. Peace.
All right, thank you, brother.
Yep.
Hey, thank you sincerely.
On
There
the
are
11th.
TML for you. What is your schedule for streaming? Are you still kind of consistent, or
It's on the 11th, friends. So I'll be back on the 11th. Yeah, that's on Saturday. I'm pretty sure that's a Saturday. So I'll be returning to my regular schedule Saturday night, Wednesday night, and Friday morning on the 11th. So thank you so much for engaging me on this break, a much needed break in order to pray and get my mind together in a time of a prayer and remembrance, because it's that month for me, you know.
blessings upon you, brother, you and your family, especially in this time of dedication and devotion.
Thank you so much. And I could, if I could, just talk about purity. You know,
Please,
just a sentence or two, if I could,
please do.
about
Yes.
how about just how important it is that we cleanse our eyes, our ears, our mouth, you know, meaning our tongue, you know, from those vile, you know, considerations, you know, negative energies, negative thoughts, you know, especially bad, you know, kind of relations and stuff, and you know, bad thoughts about others, you know, that we only take in, you know, what actually works with us, what kind of improves us, you know, kind of helps us, you know, listen to music that uplifts you, you know, kind of, you know, watch things, don't look at things that, you know, you don't really like, you know, don't pay attention to shit that you don't like, just turn it off. And there's no need to engage in things with pettiness and sarcasm, you know, just be clear, have your conscience be clear, you know, engage in things in purity and light, my friends. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day, friends.
Blessings. Thank you. Sincerely. What a beautiful reminder. I appreciate that on the way. Um, sincerely. I'm going to toss you to the back and thank you sincerely, all who joined the stream today, who joined the panel, joined the conversations. I do appreciate you, even though some of you we're still learning how to communicate and to cooperate better together. Moose, when you look back at yourself and you see yourself honestly, you can accept what has the feedback that's been offered. And that applies with several others. Anyway, to those who joined and supported the chat, those who stayed tuned and in support of the chat, sincerely, the wisdom that's shared, the contributions that are offered, you guys are really, really part of something special. Man is given the choice to focus on health or toxification, and that was a word as TML was heading out. That was very well offered. And it's perfectly in line with what I'm offering today, too. The idea of miracles. Life truly is a miracle. The miracles, they don't happen to you, miracles happen through you. And imagine if you purify yourself, you actually follow the way taught and demonstrated and shown. What if you truly purified yourself and allowed the true light of love and wisdom to shine through you as though you were a child of God? And if your faith was that of Jesus, if your faith was that of a Christ, a child of God committed to the Father, the sharing the truth of God's love, that is the path I've chosen for myself. I don't really call myself a Christian because of the distortions of man's religions, but I do honor Jesus. I call myself a disciple of his teachings, the way of love. The way of love is the way of God. God's goodness is abundant, it's bountiful, it's what nature shows to us all. And like TML pointed out, there is no separation from man and nature, even though we've created all these chemical warfares and we got pesticides and insecticides and brothers and sisters, when we have love, we are absent of conflict. We are absent of war. We are absent of negativity. When we have love, love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. All these good things are what love really is. And brothers and sisters, I do love. I do love. Life is a miracle, and we are all alive. We are miracles of life, each of us. Can you see the miracle in yourself? If you do, when you do, how about that? When you see the miracle in yourself, you can see the sparks of miracles in others, in the light of life that is within, the light of life that is around. The light of God is the truth. And you get to know the truth that God allows you to discover. The truth of God's love is abundant. It's shown through the goodness that is. And if you can humble yourself, recognize the I am presence, God's presence, the first person in the present is God. When you can humble yourself to God's truth, that which is, that which has always been, and that which will be, if you can humble yourself to the truth, find peace. Find peace in the moment, because we only live in the moment. And if you can find peace in the peace and gratitude in the appreciation of the miracle of being you in the present, if you can see the specialness of you through God's eyes of love, through the love of the Christed eyes, right? You can, when you purify yourself, you don't push yourself, you don't deny the truth, and you don't deny the love. It's really that simple. I hope it's coming across. I really do. Love and truth, it is purity. Love and truth are pure until we corrupt. So don't corrupt. And when you don't corrupt love, when you don't corrupt the truth, when you don't manipulate and corrupt and distort and deny, when you accept, when you appreciate, when you celebrate, when you praise, that is pure. And I think I'm going to wrap it up. Sincerely, I do love all. I do. By God's grace, I am filled with love and excitement and anticipation. But tomorrow is Monday, and I don't know what the future is going to bring. So please do the subscribe thing, hit the notification, and stay tuned. Will the will the setting remain the same? It is my hope and my intention to return. But till next time, thank you again, sincerely, for everyone. Oh, yeah. And Random Fan, blessings to you. Thank you so much for your contributions, and to all of you. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all.